Hi, today's topic is visualization. If your work is related with the need to communicate important messages, collaborate with different people or partners, then developing visualization skills and visual thinking could find a way into your everyday practice. Visualization is to make something visual. It's the act or an example of creating an image to represent something, what you want to achieve. Visualization helps you to find and focus on your goals and aspirations. This can help to motivate and inspire you and keep you reaching for those goals. It's a practice of imagining what you want to achieve. Visualization is a technique that affects your memory. You will remember more easily. It activates your brain, makes your imagination work, as the brain uses pictures for thinking. In some cases, with a lot of information, visualization helps you to simplify. You use shapes, icons, drawed elements, and you get a bigger and better picture of your goals and tasks. A simple visual, like a project roadmap, provides an overview of your strategic tasks and milestones and helps you to define the activities to achieve your goals. You get better understanding of your next steps. It also helps your brain to notice more new opportunities. A project roadmap is a strategic planning technique that places a project goals and major deliverables, tasks, milestones on a timeline. A visual roadmap is useful for yourself. You get a useful tool for yourself. And of course, it helps to communicate with others, stakeholders, and co-workers. So I'm going to create an example how to create visualized project roadmap. You have to start with a blank sheet and preferably use landscape orientation. You should add a frame, as this frame gives you the feeling that something is completed, and also you get a better understanding of your project scope. In this case, I'm not going to add a frame because our computer screen already has a frame. Start from the left corner, draw a dash, put it on the base. This is our starting point. People always like to think, they have good thoughts, had a thought bubble. People also like to speak and talk, add a balloon. So this is our starting point. Who are we? Where are we? What we have to do? Why we have to start with this project? Next step is to draw a horizon, because always when we start drawing a landscape, we add horizon. But the most important element on this picture is our final destination, our final point. Where is the place where we want to go? And of course, the question is how to get from our starting point to this end point. This is a question how, and the answer is the road. You can finish the road with an arrow, then the direction is more clear. But of course, we can't achieve our goals at once. We have to do many activities and steps, so add milestones. There can be many milestones. And of course, roads are not straight, and we will meet problems, add obstacles. But on the right corner, add a signpost. It's a place for good thoughts and ideas. Write down your good thoughts and ideas. On the top of horizon, add clouds. The first one is nice cloud with the sun, and the second one is not so nice. First cloud is cloud of opportunities, and the second cloud is cloud of dangers. So write down your opportunities and dangers. But luckily on the road, we are not alone. We always have people around us. So add people who support you on this journey, add supporters. This kind of visual helps you to get quick understanding about your ongoing project and you can share it with everyone. I have added some additional resources. The most important source is from one Estonian educator, Kati Orav, and this idea of project roadmap is taken from webpage creativitycatcher.com. So thank you for your attention and good luck for the visualization.
User-generated content is any form of content that is created and shared by the users based on their experiences, opinion, ideas, or feedback. Digital platforms, especially social media networks, are the hub of user-generated content. And it is important to note that brands don't pay users for this content. Unlike brand ambassadors or influencers, user-generated content is generated by users freely because they want to. Examples of user-generated content are written and film reviews, recommendations, pictures, art, memes, and challenges related to products or brands. And the use of hashtags would also be included in this collection of examples. One of the main reasons why user generated content is so successful is that due to the exponential growth of technology, there is a huge number of social media networks and users. This provides a platform for user generated content to be created, shared, and seen by many potential buyers of the brand. At the same time, the vast quantity of programs to create and edit video, photos, and visual content has increased the possibilities and interest of users to create content. Due to the wide spread of social media, user-generated content provides massive exposure at very low cost for the company. Other reasons for the effectiveness of user generated content is the fact that users tend to trust other users' recommendations more than they trust marketing campaigns. User generated content makes reviews and recommendations by other users easier to find and access for potential buyers. And that is why it is extremely valuable for companies. For example, when you are buying online, other customers' reviews are the only reference that interested clients have of a product, and they will take other users' opinions into account when deciding whether or not to spend their money in said product. Numbers, some statistics tell us that 79% of people state that user generated content has a high impact in their decision to purchase something, while only 13% say that branded content has had an influence, and barely an 8% report that their purchase is being more affected by influencer created content. User generated content provides creative and diverse content, more prone to attract potential clients, and improves the relationship with customers and promotes engagement. It has the potential to create an online community of users that can be valuable for the company and increase as well as showcase brand loyalty. At the same time, public engagement and brand advocacy can attract new customers, and the flow of this content, of the user-generated content, can be almost unlimited, keeping campaigns alive for longer. Moreover, user views and flow of content work as social media proof. They validate the quality, authenticity, and reliability of the brand or the product. There are a variety of ways for a company to prompt user generated content. There's campaign hashtags, which invite users to post pictures with the product on Instagram, Twitter, and other social media, making it visible for potential clients. And for example, Coca-Cola's Share a Coke hashtag Share a Coke campaign, which is apart from creating this hashtag, it invites customers to act and provides engagement and enthusiasm of clients who want a bottle or a can with their names on it. Another quick form of promoting user-generated content is to create contests or giveaways, since this is a kind of reward for customers for creating this content, and this can provide a substantial flow of user-generated content during the period of the contest. Providing user-generated content prompts that foster the creativity of users and then engaging with that content, that's also a great strategy. Companies like Netflix, for example, benefit from user-generated content by reposting memes that users have made about their movies and TV shows. Once user-generated content has been created, the company can post it on their official website, repost it, or share it on the company's official social media, or even use it for ads or include them in the company's newsletters, using it with the goal of boosting more traditional marketing strategies. The conclusion can be that user-generated content does not require as high an investment as other more traditional marketing strategies, and it provides many benefits, making it a very valuable tool for digital marketing, but it also requires a strong willingness of being active and work on the company engagement with their users.
My name is Riinu, and I am going to talk to you about 3 really effective and easy ways how to engage your audience on Facebook. Even though Facebook can be considered as a dinosaur of social media, it's still a very powerful marketing tool. Here you can see some statistics from last year, and as you see, Facebook is still most used social platform worldwide. Having better social media engagement is not just a matter of looking popular. What it really means is your customers having a stronger relationship with your brand. And this in turn helps to build brand loyalty, increase peer-to-peer reach, and also increase your sales. The very first way to engage your audience is through building brand communities. It's a really effective way to create meaningful connections. On Facebook, you can do it by creating groups. Unlike a page, members of group can actively participate both in posting and discussing. And you, being part of those discussions, get to shape conversations about your brand. You also get to know your clients, their habits, and their needs. Statistics show that COVID has driven more Facebook users to group. 1.8 billion people use Facebook groups monthly. And Facebook have also announced that they have changed the algorithm and set their focus on communities as well. So as organic reach of Facebook is declining, groups are a great way to get directly to your customers. If you feel that you are lack of ideas how to keep your group active, here are some tips from Saving Diary, a group created by Swedbank for those who want to save money. First, you can come up with interesting topics. Saving Diary here focuses on a different topic every month. It can be about setting goals and budget, or how to save on different fields of life, like transportation, food, clothes, traveling, and so on. You can also set up a contest to support your topic. Saving Diary, for example, does saving challenges every month, and it also rewards the best savers. Or you can try to involve influencers to share their stories. That can encourage your group members to open up and participate as well. But if it feels like a lot of work to start a group of your own and you feel that you're not up to this, go ahead, join a group connected to your field and be active there. That's also a possibility. Here you can see 2 great examples of groups created by well-known brands. One is Canva Design Circle, created by Canva, and the second one is Women of Impact, a group by National Geographic. I really recommend to look them up. Another way for engaging is sharing customer experience. Here are some statistics that show how much impact this kind of feedback can have to other customers. Facebook is 1 in 4 main review sites people check out before really visiting businesses. And on social media platforms like Facebook, reviews often prove to be more effective than paid ads. It gives you more social proof. It helps to expand your search visibility and this way attract new customers. But to get some feedback from your customers, the very first step is simply to ask for it. You can collect ratings, testimonials, reviews, whatever suits you the best. There are plenty of ways in collecting and presenting it. Just you have to be creative. And here is one example of feedback that was left to our organization that we have collected and reposted on our Facebook wall. One tip for you as well, when collecting reviews, make sure you respond to negative ones as well. Because according to research, 44% of customers are more likely to visit the business that responds to negative feedback as well. Last but not least, talk to your audience. People enjoy going on social media to connect, to be entertained, and to talk about things that really matter to them. When talking, focus on talking to your fans rather than at them. It means starting discussions, asking their opinion, asking their advice. Research shows that posts that end in question mark gets the best response. Or just make people laugh. 71% of social media users watch videos simply to laugh. Using humor on Facebook can increase your engagement, but you also need to keep in mind that fun can be a funny thing because not everybody shares the same sense of humor. So you have to know your audience to draw a line between funny and offensive. And here you can see some examples of our school Facebook posts. I really tried to translate those in English for you. As you can see, there are both little humor, playing with words, asking questions. It's all in those posts. And finally, take a stand on social issues. Because according to survey, 75% of people are more likely to do business with a company that supports an issue that is important to them. You can either share your own thoughts, share third-party articles. You can make real action instead of word as well. Here you can see one more example from our Facebook page. This is about our teachers and students raising money to support Ukrainian refugees. And that's all from me. I hope you found something useful for yourself to work on Facebook. So thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.
How to use TikTok as a marketing platform. First of all, what is TikTok? Well, it is a social media app which is based on creating and sharing videos. So short, concise, humorous content. It's clearly an entertaining platform with very light and entertaining content. And why to use TikTok? It has more than 700 million users globally, of which the vast majority are very young, between the ages of 10 and 29. So it is the best app to reach young audiences. It's also currently the most downloaded app with 33 million downloads, and people spend on average nearly an hour a day in TikTok. It's currently available in 155 countries, and 90% of the users who have the app also use it every day. So it's a great way to engage with the young audiences. Furthermore, 67% of users agree that the platform has actually inspired them on purchases, even when they were not intending to do any shopping. 74% of TikTok users say that TikTok has inspired them to find out more about a certain product or a brand online. and 66% of users agree that the app has helped them in their purchase decisions. And then shortly about Helsinki business college TikTok. We started using TikTok in 2018, and we were actually the first upper secondary educational institution on the platform. We have more than 23,000 followers, and the main point in our TikTok is that it is run entirely by our students. So it's not run by our marketing department or by teachers or by anyone from the management, but it is indeed from students to students. And how this is done, we always employ one student per semester whose job it is then to create TikTok content for us. So short, humorous clips and videos. The students get paid for this, so it's not just pro bono. And the content is always related to studies or their student life. And because the students themselves create the content, it's very authentic and very genuine and very to the point, which is inevitable in using TikTok. And here's an example of an organic post. So this is a post by our TikToker. As you can see, it's very short, and it's just a clip from his day at school. And as you can see from the figures, it gained a lot of views, a multitude of likes, more than 1,000 comments, and 1,299 shares. So it nicely, organically received a very large audience. And here's another example of an organically commercialized post, so which means that we paid money to receive views. And in this particular campaign or post, we also employed, in addition to our student, an influencer. So we used both. And this was just a very entertaining, funny video about different types of applicants that colleges have. And it really gained a massive audience, more than 500,000 views, 233 shares, and 243 comments. So enormous audience. And again, it was very short, amusing, sort of comical. So on TikTok, it's always content first, as in any social media. TikTok is about short videos created by the audience themselves, from the audience to the audience, and engaging content has to be short and humorous.
Hello, this is my topic, the use of the smartphone as a means of communication through the videos. So we all have a smartphone in our pocket. Smartphone is a tool can be used to communicate through the videos. Let's talk about video. For the smartphone, we can record high quality videos and we can edit them with open source software that is called SOS software. Why use the video tool? We can use the tool of the video to tell a success story and telling our work for film so that everyone can see the dimension of our educational work. What we need to make this kind of stuff, let's make a checklist. We have to plan to prepare structuring the interview, and we have to establish a video setting. We also it's better if we can check the technical equipment and the post-production software, last but not least. So let's talk about the interview. We have to prepare the question sheet, leading the respondent to talk about his or her experience For example, attending our course in chronological order for the first day to the last one. We have also think to set up an ice-breaking phase, explaining to the user why he or she is being interviewed. Reading the question, read the question together with them and agree on effective answer. Look for a focal point of the interview, for example, how the course attended has changed the life of our student, for example. About the setting of the video is easy to understand that it's better to find a quiet and bright environment. It's better if the setting describes the focus of the interview. For example, if we talk about a school or educational field, it's better if we record this kind of stuff in a classroom, for example. We have to make sure that the camera is at the right distance and the subject are centered in the frame. Those are some examples of how easy it is to make this kind of stuff. About audio setting, we can use, we have to find a silent and quiet environment. And we can use this kind of USB microphone that are external microphone or internal microphone that comes in the smartphone. And we can also use the headphone microphones. About the post-production, we have we can apply some filters and insert captions or subtitles and animation on the video. Usually this kind of software comes with, they are customer-friendly software, so we can use, if we use a Windows system, we can use a Windows Movie Maker, or even if we use Apple computer, we can use iMovie to make this kind of post-production and make the video in more professional. Here are some examples of our past projects that we have, how can I say, used the video tools to make the dissemination of our results. And in conclusion, for the video, we can show the value of our educational work. We can share the video on our social media, and this can capture the attention of our potential users. We need our support. And so for the video, we can support and maybe change the life of our potential customers. Thank you very much.
How to engage and reach adult learners. The first step is to approach the adult learners in an adequate and effective way in order to give a good first impression and to engage them effectively. What are the needs of adult learners? Some of the main needs to be considered are: what are the learning aims and objectives, as well as the expected end results for their personal and professional development. Here are some useful resources and tools that can be used online for free. For example, Zoom for online meeting and conferences, Google Hangouts, Google Files, and Google Drive for sorting files, Microsoft PowerPoint, Word and Excel to develop different training materials, as well as social media. Platforms like Instagram, YouTube, and Kahoot could be used for developing interactive games and to be performed remotely. The main goals of adult education and training include improving access to education and training, providing opportunities for lifelong learning, as well as enhancing the quality of adult education and training. So, how to engage and involve adult learners? One of the most important aspects
is to make them feel comfortable. In this way, we'll be ensured a safe environment for sharing experiences and exchange of knowledge. Encouragement of empathy in learners will facilitate cooperation and their active participation. This will provoke positive engagement and will emphasize on a greater opportunity for success. Here's some tips and strategies. One of the most important is to make your message clear to ensure effective and understandable communication. One of the key tips is to listen to adult learners, to respect other people's point of view, and for the time being to put aside your own thoughts and try to understand learners' intentions, feelings, needs, and wants.
Good morning. Today we are going to give you some tips about how to measure a communication campaign. Measuring the results of a communication campaign is even more gratifying than implementing it. But before analyzing the impact of the campaign, let's start from a brief definition of what a communication campaign is. A communication campaign uses a powerful promotional strategy in order to change knowledge, attitudes, behavior, or policy in a specific intended audience through marketing and advertising techniques. Whatever you're planning, you should create a roadmap of what you want to do, when and how and where you want to go. The same principle applies to a communication campaign. You develop a roadmap that answers the following questions. Which are the goals? Who is the target audience? How often do you want to communicate with your target audience? Which members of your team are responsible for communication? What tools do you want to use to communicate effectively? Some measurements methods can show how the campaign shapes the perception about what is promoted and trigger behavioral changes, such as websites, visits, and downloads. Often marketing and communication professionals look at 3 types of levels for campaign measurement: the communication output, the communication outtakes, and the communication outcomes. Communication output is the most basic way of measurement, evaluating the communication tools and materials that were used for the launch, such as press releases and social media posts. Communication outtakes evaluate what has been achieved in terms of key message penetration and stakeholder engagement. Metrics include quantitative and qualitative media coverage analysis, share of voice, event attendance, Twitter chat attendance, number of social media likes and followers, and email newsletters opening rates. Outtakes measurement look at who engaged with the company and what was written or said about the company. However, we still don't know how the outtakes have shaped the perception about the company and whether they have triggered behavioral changes. Therefore, looking at the communication outcomes is the best form of measurement. You can assess the actual impact of your communication program of the stakeholder perception and behavior, how the program moved hand for your business. Metrics include perception audits, social media behavior analysis, and in some cases, lead generation. Some of the measurement methods mentioned are complex and costly to implement, but thanks to data analytics, there are simple ways to incorporate effective measurement metrics into your product marketing program on every level. But which are the most useful methods that can show you have achieved good results with your communication campaign? Let's have a look to some examples. If you use Twitter as one of the social media of your campaign, you could use tracking. It is an easy to use tool that allows you to monitor the mentions of specified hashtags and identify influencers to connect with on social media. For tracking website traffic generated by marketing, you can set up Google Analytics on the web page and mobile apps. Google Analytics, along with the use of a unique URL for each campaign, will enable you to measure traffic gain from each media you hit. You can measure which media sites, social media properties, and other activities such as email, newsletter, got the most referral and in some cases best conversion rates. For products and solutions that can be downloaded via app stores or website, you can correlate the timing of press releases, social media campaigns, and media coverage with the product downloads, online sales, and app downloads. Thank you for your attention.